Hey everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have Qualifier number 2 of the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard Tournament Season 8. Got a great crew here today. On commentary we have Emo Soda and Melqui, and I will let them take it from here.
Hey, thanks, Baseball. And thank you all for joining us today. As Baseball mentioned, really good lineup on Restream here. Say, Sea Falcon, who we will probably accidentally refer to as Bobby through the entirety of this. Drunus and Juke. And joining me on comms is Emo. How you doing? Are you excited for this?
Woo! Let's go! Who's excited for Semester 8? It's a great season to be alive and to be playing a randomizer for OoT. Yes, we have many items randomized. I don't know. What I was gonna move that.
All the items randomized.
Yeah, it's cool. Hints are really good. It's kind of my takeaway for S8. And yeah, I guess we'll be waiting here for the seed start, really, to say much more. But we are starting with the stone.
Yeah,
which
stone
is
start. Oh, no.
Every single runner is just rolling their eyes, just like, oh my gosh, stone start on a qual. Come on.
Okay, one less thing to think about. Also, a
And
prelude start.
yeah.
Yeah. The prelude thing is what I think most runners will be most excited to see. It is adult start, but you're probably going child. It's not closed door of time, so odds of going child pretty high.
Yeah, I just default to child start. I just don't want to walk to CAC. I want to always warp to CAC, roll out the red carpet, you know.
Right, yeah.
Why do I want to walk? No one wants to walk to CAC, man. And it's really, CAC's not that great of an area to go to at the very start. It doesn't have that many checks. It's one song, unless you have ZL.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, well, you just go back child anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. The early child play is definitely one of those where I can imagine in quals people making that play a little more. Oh, hello. We just did a major time hop here. So our runners checking some checking the medallions, some checking the foolish hints.
Water, domain, and fountain. Places with water are all foolish.
Yeah, alright. No river though, so we
Not
might
river.
see...
Well, it's only semi-dry, you know?
Yeah. But it doesn't look like anyone's doing river first here. No one went to set time of day, but Drew is opting to farm a little bit of money. Yeah, rip the Zora. And yeah, Saria's in ice. That's a... How do you feel about the song hint being there?
I don't care. It could be anything. It could say I'm ugly every scene, and I'd read it.
the junked hint stone.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of whatever. Sometimes it's really good. So like,
yeah,
you just can skip ice, or you can, I don't know, prioritize something else early on in the seed from the outset. You already know.
Yeah,
those kinds of hints are really powerful. I mean, that's why you have the foolish there. It's really helpful overall. Looks like skulls are all dead though, 30 to 50, and a slingshot, an open grotto.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was very anti-song hint, sometimes hints. I thought they were useless. Every time you got one, you'd already picked up that song. But having that information right at the start just adds a little more, like, okay, what can I deduce from this seed? Where might I want to prioritize getting to in that adult or child one?
Also, bomb bag early here. It's really going to force everyone's hands here, probably to go to DC.
Probably.
A lot of item checks. Super early in the seed. Do you really want to go back child? Probably not yet. So Serenade. And a Furores, no magic yet.
Yeah, Furores early, something people really like in these settings.
I'd almost like chance to say, like, what would there be like a world where you just start with Furores? I'm sure that was probably discussed by the organizer team?
It was discussed. We certainly took a pretty minimalist approach with this season. We didn't really want to, the idea of like starting with a random major item, for example, came up too. And we just kind of decided, no, we need to kind of scale it back. We're going top 32. These are the kinds of things that make or break a top 32 versus a top 64. And we really wanted to highlight that our top 32 are the best players in the fields.
I saw a little sick bomb shoe pick up there in Graveyard. It's going to make some things a lot easier, especially child stuff.
This is like the opposite of yesterday's qual, where some people missed explosives for a very long time.
Yeah. Oh, or strength too.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put salt in the wound. If anyone's watching.
Yeah, it seemed like the irony was people who did miss explosives found strength 2 sooner because they were funneled to that location.
Yeah, this is super duper open compared to that. We haven't even seen child. All 4 runners on Restream here going adult, which I think is fine. The bomb bag location, though, is a little bad for people that are going child start. There could also just be another bomb bag somewhere super early, with no item requirements to get to it, so...
Absolutely. And those who did... I imagine most runners choose to go up and do DC anyway. It's so quick, you have bombs, so you know you can complete it. But the ones who did check the medallion layout are certainly going to do that because it's our forest med. Pick up a nice song before going child.
2 choose.
Are you a goody 2 choose? It's okay, you can kick me out.
Only when I'm not on Restream.
But yeah, pretty standard opener. Seisei gonna check those medallions. Did not go up the mountain, so might be kicking himself a little seeing that DC is forest med.
Yeah, a little interesting you didn't read it before going to CAC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all kinds of explosives here. Okay. This is the point where Big Goron Sword throughout the entirety of a seed might actually save these runners a few minutes. Certainly not 30 like we joke, but that time does add up if you haven't even fought a single enemy yet.
Yeah, nice and centrally located. Not bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of those items most people will not go out of their way for, but you're also not upset when you do find it. Purple Bomber. There is no such thing as a good Ocarina of Time randomizer seed. There's only ones that are slightly less terrible. But there can be really good hints. I would say that's what sets seeds apart.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so much that it's length either. There's some very long seeds that I would consider good seeds, and very short seeds I would consider bad, and vice versa. So
yeah.
Ooh, hovers on top of DC, and a hook and DNT wall.
Hook shot.
Very nice.
That's gonna be... Those are kind of the interesting items where that could prolong an adult one for a long time and could be a tough decision for some people to make.
Ice Cavern Path Volvagia, that's on near Market Grotto.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
nope,
good hints.
No bottle yet.
No bottle yet. We know it's not going to be Saria's. It is directly hinted, but it's kind of nice to remove one of those. Sorry, as is not a song you would typically... Oh. All right.
Very nice. Nice long shot. All
What's
right.
happening? I'm scared.
Is the scene over yet?
I'm scared.
Seems kind of over. We've just begun.
Yeah,
we're not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, and this will be interesting. Like I was saying, this could really prolong an adult one for these runners who have come up the mountain. And we'll see from Seisei, are they going to then miss something in child for a while that could be helpful? But,
like a Dens or something. That's what I would expect.
But early bombs, early hook. Early hovers is nice.
Early
just
long
because
shot.
It's convenient.
It just opens up G2G completely.
Mm-hmm.
We can just go over there. There could be something on top of the fortress. Like, crazy stuff. Upriver, all in logic now.
Yep. There's probably going to be a bow, you know, nice and quick here.
Just takes one strength, and then boom, most of Forest is also in logic.
Yep. Crater to Phantom Ganon, okay.
Oh, I am a song to get there, but that's besides
I was going to say, knowing Saria's is in ice, my instinct is it's Minuet in there, or...
Ooh, Sea Falcon dropping. Didn't quite catch the elevator there.
Oh. Those are the kinds of things that just feel bad. Early on, they can tilt you. Sea Falcon is not a particularly tilt-susceptible runner. Bolero and Minuet here from these two song locations, so wow, we need to get into Forest.
It's pushing you towards there for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get that, even if you start Child of Seed, you're probably almost done with the 3-song route, and you're going adult now. You're gonna get the bomb bag and probably go straight into DC.
Yep.
Especially with, Lara, it's just really nice.
Yep. Alright, Seisei is safe quitting. We do have random child spawns, so we'll see where we're dropping. Market. Wow.
I believe they've all red pedestal now. Valley Goma.
Valley to Goma is actually a good hint.
Star Wars is dead. Which is the wooden walls in Shadow for the uninitiated.
I've never heard that.
It's because the very first Star Wars film, we're in the trash compactor. It's like that, you know.
Sure, sure. Emo's trying to make this happen. I did not.
That's just what I call it. I'm not trying to make anything happen. I got my hands tied behind my back.
I did not listen to the weekly last week.
I might have said it.
I don't remember exactly what I had going on last weekend, but I know that I was not able to watch the weekly.
Damn.
But I heard the commentary was great.
Yeah, we had Diesel in comms. He was great. Hope to see him again.
Was that Toilet?
I did not quite catch that in.
Okay, I thought I saw Silver Rupees, but there's a couple of Silver Rupee options.
There was a Zora Tunic in the bomb bag chest, though. Maybe we're just thinking about the toilet, seeing that.
Yeah. Not logically required for it, but certainly nice to have. Okay. Irons. Well, that's water.
All right.
For the most part.
Maybe.
Maybe. We would still need either some songs or some strength and probably a bow.
Crater PG, I guess that was the minuet, yeah. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll see if we can get like a hint, just a whiff of hint ice items, you know, to be able to go there, just to nail that path down. Probably not the song, but could also just be a storm. Looks like it did a scale in Midos.
Scale is nice for movement here. Even though most of the places that you're going with a scale, not great, but...
It does have Serenade. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Knows about the valley path. I think that might have been the crater path. I'm not sure if Say knows that, because he didn't go DC. Pretty sure the ice... I don't know. That might have been him, too. I think it might have been him. Either way. Temple of Time Rova?
Okay. So, typically we're gonna expect, you know, Requiem to be on Prelude then. We'll see once these runners are going Child, since they've completed. But there's no reason that it can't be Lax, Light Arrow cutscene. And if anyone in chat is new, please feel free, ask any questions. Chat will probably beat us to answering you, but Emo and I will do our best to answer those questions as they come up. ZL cannot be hinted directly, no. Why do dogs have wet noses, Mel? I thought it was a temperature regulation thing, but I'm not entirely sure. Baseball is the GOAT. 100%. Easy. Oh, and a bottle there on target in the woods. So that's ice doable.
It was what, Slingshot and Cack, right?
Yeah, Slingshot was in Cack in the open grotto.
Right.
So everyone should be getting that bottle as they're doing a child segment.
It's skippable. Somebody could just play Minuet and then like save quit or something.
Yep, that's true.
Well, I guess Rex not at Prelude, and I'd be out money.
Rex definitely not at Prelude.
Okay, well, is it all dungeons or is it not? The age-old question.
This is where that, you know, lovely adult spirit duel hint would really come in handy. Or the child spirit duel. Goron City, Evil's Bane. Alright. So our long shot was in there. / hook shot.
Right, but the hook and the long were both bomb locked, so...
Yep.
But the bomb bag was just there in CAC, so...
Yeah. We do know that Tharia's is at the end of ice, so, you know, Darunia in play. Once we find ZL.
Yeah, the early bomb bag with CAC, I think we'll push more people to Child Goron City earlier. Just to confirm that. It could also just be, I don't know, a strength path ban.
Yeah.
Really got to be careful with the S8 and these hints. They're very powerful, but at the same time, they can punish you pretty hard if you misunderstand them.
Yes, yep. We had an instance the other day where someone thought that lights could be path to another boss. They cannot. And, you know, you hate watching runners, like, lose time just because of a slightly misunderstood mechanic there. I think that was Shadow Pot is dead.
Nice Storms pick up on Minuet as well. Yeah, Shadow Pot. Oh, Juke going into Forest. Drew straying away, gonna go back to Child.
Yeah, I think if I were in these runners' shoes, I would be doing what Drew is doing here. Storms has a lot more checks. You've got River clearable then. No.
It depends on the.
Oh no.
Hate to see that.
Well,
no, it depends on the key
everyone.
logic. Depends on the key logic here. It's
It
kind of a coin flip.
Yeah.
Without Song of Time. Ooh, Strength.
Oh, okay. Which grotto is this?
Lost Woods? No, River.
No, River open. Okay.
Interesting. So that's just fully logic.
It's still... The Nocturne doesn't necessarily have to be for Requiem, but that is a real bad sign.
Ooh, there is this... the dual
That's
hint.
the adult. Small key and boss key in the adult dual check. Everyone's
That's nice
going to be crying tears of relief.
Yeah, it might logically still be all dungeons, but...
Yeah, that is an AD dodge everyone is going to be real happy about.
Practically, they can probably skip it. Now, it could just be like a required item on Child Spirit for fun.
Yes. Yep. Added.
So you can't really, unless you actually are in Spirit, have cleared up to Rova, you can't really count that out as a possibility, especially in a qual setting. Don't want to be wrong.
Yep.
And I mentioned, or I didn't mention it, I noticed earlier in the Discord a comment from Cola, actually, that metagaming's actually a lot more difficult, especially with the cut up to top 32 instead of 64, so like... By the time you realize you've made a mistake, it's already too late. Like, the time's already lost.
Yeah.
You can't just make up the time magically.
Yeah, a lot of runners are kind of in this mindset, you need to be top 10 in your quals to have a chance at top 32. I think you probably have a little more wiggle room than that, but it's going to be
It's a lot of moving
field.
Parts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moving parts. The higher, the better, obviously, but...
Yeah.
Never quite over until the last qual, so...
Yep.
This is qual 2, everybody.
Yeah, we got...
Very, very early.
I'll say we've still got 19 of these because we're only 20 minutes into this one.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, a lot of returning players from qual 1 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Not a ton of new faces, only 56, 55 players total, so...
Yeah,
Definitely.
Earlier today I was making a comment about that, like, I'm afraid of what the numbers might look like for this qual because I realized it's Sunday. We already knew it wasn't a great starting time for EU folks, but a lot of them tend to make it anyway. But it's also still football season, American football season. Lots of people choose to watch that on Sundays.
Thanksgiving just around the corner.
Yeah. And yeah, Lullaby, Insight. That's going to work out really nice for Drew, I think, here, who is probably going to finish up that, 3-song route that you mentioned. Knows that Valley is path, so we'll probably be picking up a Kokiri sword there, but there's a chance it's on Hammer Rocks. Yeah, we're not talking about CFL, though. Because it's Winnipeg in that.
Kind of hoping it's just a letter just to mess with them at Valley.
Oh,
that'd
no.
That'd be pretty awful.
Letter in Valley for your hammer and ice for your sword and Hammer Rocks. If there is anything that we have learned over the years, the randomizer is more evil than any of us could ever hope to be.
I mean, I was just playing a seed earlier today, and it was inside Ganon's path, Phantom Ganon. Okay, cool. My go mode was basically I think long shot, but all the items for PG were not in Ganon's.
Yeah.
And I just had that looming still. It was just like, oh my gosh. The answer is it was all very convoluted bomb logic, but
yeah. It's so nasty when a bomb bag is late in the seed.
It's not great. A lot of bomb checks you're always gonna do, like a majority of bomb lock checks you're always gonna do, especially in just an S8 seed like this. So
yeah, like I would say by the 50-minute mark, you're just like, give me a wallet, choose anything, just let me blow up some rocks.
Hammer's still MIA. Could still be in ice. Have yet to see that. Players just kind of retracing the steps a little bit, getting songs here and there. ZL, Song of Storms. Maybe we see a Bomb of the Well play coming up. They all have Nocturne and the songs for it once they go to Saria's.
Yeah, I would definitely expect the 3 runners that have been kind of holding hands throughout this to do that. Say, I'm less sure what he's gonna do. I would expect ice. Or DC into ice probably, since he still needs to do that. Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the
I think he
hovers
tried
yet.
for the bean. Oh, yeah, you can't really do that without hovers.
Can't do that without the hovers. I keep forgetting that he doesn't have those.
I don't think he's seen him yet, has he?
No, because they're on top of
he played
DC.
Bolero, yeah.
Yep. So it's gonna pick up both of those hook shots and the hovers in the next few minutes. But that'd be pretty hype to see it on Restream here. Alright, Valley.
Come on, letter.
Sea Falcon opting to play Serenade and do fishing first, it looks like, instead of walking out of Ranch to Valley.
Might be getting backlight counts here.
There is a boulder shuffle setting. It is not on in this set.
No, that's in random settings. We do have that on the next season.
It is very.
There's the K-Sword.
There's the K-Sword. Which is gonna be Juke also opting to play Serenade here. So that's gonna work out really nice for Drew. Probably goes and does Child Lake and maybe even hikes across Southfield, but I doubt it. Oh, okay. Just going straight to SFM. Is that the water Bosky?
Rolling boulders. Just choose on the letter check. And I would expect Juke to be going for a well play here. Set time of day for Dampe, getting that out of the way. It's a magic!
Oh, okay, that's a nice one. Dampe is kind of a hard thing to convince yourself to go do. With Nocturne, it's a little easier.
Oh, I found out what the next unpopular rando opinion is. You want to hear it?
Oh, sure.
Dampe digging should be like vanilla.
Oh, yeah, no. That might be worse than when I say bring back slow block push.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuckles has lost more runs to that than...
I'm not gonna say who advocated for that. It was not me. Disclaimer.
Was it Jimbo?
No, it was not Jimbo, surprisingly.
Yeah. Everyone has their, like, grenade opinion. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good grenade opinion.
Some of them have deadly shrapnel.
Yeah.
I have a real mustache. I don't need to wear a fake mustache.
All right. Drew is headed into Child Goron City here. Can do two of the checks.
Toilet was small key, it looks like.
Okay.
Field.
Okay. I was like, I was pretty sure that's what we saw, but
that's fine. No one likes that check. I'm pretty sure.
No one likes doing that check, and it's pretty rare that you actually need the key in there, but it's still information.
Like, you can do everything else in GTG. Even if you don't have strength 2, you could make an educated guess based on the key count.
Yep.
In terms of density, like, it's one check. Mm-hmm. How much could it cost you, right?
Yep. Alright. So, Sea Falcon headed into Valley, gonna pick up that Kokiri sword. Seisei gonna head into DC.
Nothing in the pot. Din's fire.
Din's. And this was Evil's Bane. So we have our other hook shot. So long shot would have to be what is being hinted. Because they don't lock each other.
Stone Shadow, by the way.
And our Stone Shadow is looming once again.
I mean, you also have Spirit Path, or not Path, but Progression, so could just be for that.
Yep.
But you definitely want to, as a runner in the qualifiers, I would caution you to stay, optimistic and open-ended. I think is a good default mood to have.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be set, this is path, this is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
It's more of just, you're taking in all these data points, and you're like, okay, well, I'll do the 3-song, I'll do CAC. Okay, where do I go after that? Well, and then you point to all the data that you've harvested, so...
Yeah, and I think one of the things I do always hear as well is just always be moving and doing something. Pick a play and commit to it, but like you said, make sure your next play is flexible.
Added wrinkle here in that they do not have suns. That has not been found yet.
Yep.
So you have to be a little careful with their time of day routing. Most of them are all in the child segment, say in the adults, because he was in the child, didn't do DC, and adult 1. We'll see where he goes after DC. I think he has a real option to just rush ice if he wants to. And I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah,
honestly,
I would not be
surprised.
Surprised. Yeah.
And ZL.
I think that would be a good play for Seisei to make, given the information that he has and the items that he has and the difference in routing from the others. Like, going Valley now, sure, could be valuable, but you're probably then committing to GTG in some capacity.
Sick long shot time save on the bomb chest. But really, the early long shot hasn't really led to anything. Bo's still MIA. They haven't really had any reason to go GTG yet, even though it's completely available to them. They have a few things like they can do there. No Song of Time either, so it's really a locked GTG at this point, logically.
Yeah, and what you can do, I mean, there really isn't much without a bow or strength 2. And especially, like, you're expecting your hammer to be a nice anyway. Not that you need it, but it is still logically relevant.
Anapona's opens up 2 HBA checks. Like, it's a lot of really small paper cuts. And I'm not sure the runners are going to endure that just to go to G2G sub-hour. Right. Still, no well play. I thought Juke was going to go to the well, but I guess not. Decided against it with the hints that he had. Still going to get this Kokiri sword, do Deku. We're just about to see the first Deku tree here, I believe, right? Druidness?
Yep. And Sea Falcon going to be entering not too far behind. Yeah, and it's possible that Juke was like, you know, I have too many other path locations that I should be looking at. Maybe Well isn't the best at this time. I just think it's so fast. We do have chest appearance matches contents on, and I feel like your bow could very well be in there. But it could also just be in Deku.
First check dead for Drew. Juke just picking up the K-Sword. Well, Will after this check.
Alright. I would expect Seisei to kind of... Yeah, I really don't know. I think Ice is the best play, but we'll see.
Could even go Valley as adult if he was feeling really spicy. I mean, he has not terrible items to go over that direction. It's just...
Yeah.
You don't want to commit to GGG. There's a Rang inside of Deku. Not looking good for the
that is another stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
And we have hovers, and we know where Denz is, and magic, right? So Nocturne's already about, like, the entirety of Shadow is just, like, available. It's gonna be hard to pass up.
Yeah. So, interestingly, if Din's were our path to Evil's Bane, Nocturne could not be... I mean, it could still be, but Din's would have to be for something other than Shadow.
I think either we're gonna see a Honeypot Shadow, or just, like, Bo's just there, and that's it. The only awkward thing is where Denz is in Child Goron City, so, like, that's not going to be available for Seisei for a while. The other players, kinda.
Yeah. I think for the other players, obviously Juke got the magic off of Dampe Digging, so do the other runners actually focus on being able to do that, or do they just keep doing checks? Because if that is, you know, if the other magic is magic locked, that could be a hard find.
The real awkward part, too, is no suns as well, so after Deku, they're gonna have, like, Noon, I think.
Oh,
Like...
there's Vanilla.
Oh.
Vanilla
sure.
Suns.
Sure. And
so
it's Seisei of all players that gets it.
So all of the runners will probably pick that up.
Yep. Okay, well, I guess it's not so hard to route anymore.
I would expect that, like, Drew, for example, would be playing Nocturne and going that route, because I'd be really curious what's on our Composer Grave Torches, because that's available. Haunted Wasteland is available.
They don't know with certainty that Suns is there, though, so I don't know if they're going to take that risk of just like, oh, I'll just play Nocturne, get the song, and if it's not Suns, I'll do something until it's
yeah, but if you're thinking, well,
but they've already gone Valley.
Oh, Torches were hinted dead. Okay.
They've also gone Lake as well. So there's like not really anything to pass time of day. See what Drew does here. I think Drew still has Field.
Lake. Yeah. Drew's gonna pick up those iron boots here.
Alright, it was Falcon that did Lake, but then Valley. Drew did Valley only. Juke. Valley. I think he did Lake as well. That's why he hasn't done Deku yet. Yeah, Seisei in Forest.
Seisei can do more of Forest than the other two. Can go up to that vanilla bow chest.
It's progression, so really, you have all the items you're going to have later on anyway to do these checks. So with hovers especially, it's pretty... Brigatti had BGS, damn. Damn.
Oh no.
Just lost like 30 seconds. Like, honestly, that might have been a 30-second loss there with the pause on pause quib.
Yeah.
And BGS, it just makes everything so easy, especially Stalfos, things that can come up close to you like that. Stalfos, you just stick it under their shield. It's so long. It's...
Yeah, even... That was one of the weirdest things. I fight Stalfos, like, directly pointing up. Because I'm like, this means I die less.
I mean, if you're close enough to him, that's actually a good angle.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
With BGS, it's just trivial. You can just be, like, a side hop away and still hit him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trusting Trez as a character witness. Sorry. Now he's gonna pop in here, be like, excuse me?
Nah.
Nah.
He's probably asleep.
Nah. Wait,
If you do want to hear more of Trez, myself, and Milkweed, though, definitely make sure to listen to the next podcast episode. We just released it. It covers S8 in detail. More things that we can't say on air here, and not really, but...
Alright, Drew is playing Nocturne here. Does not have Dampe time of day. It is close to the right time of day. And say taking this shortcut, so we'll see what our path in ice is soon. Oh, good night, Chuckles. Yeah, it was fun being on the podcast. I made the mistake, so the first few minutes were very, very memey. And I come in and I'm just like, hey, thanks for having me.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
Basically just like commentary, which we also need commentary. If you want to commentate or track or restream, I'm sure we could use more. You can check that more details on that in the Discord and the link in the chat. If you're excited about Randomizer, even if you don't play, hell, you can say a couple things about it, right?
Heck yeah. Yeah, I did not play for the first, like, 10 months of doing tracking and commentary. And yes, Drew picked up Suns, played Serenade to set time of day for Dampe. Sea Falcon already had good time of day, so was able to get that, and now Drew is going to pick up that magic as well.
First time seeing Ice here with Say. Love this play. Has not found anything of use yet. It looks like all of them are getting scrolls, is that true?
I haven't seen Say. His personal tracker says 7, so I think they are all at least doing 10. I know Juke already turned in 10.
Damn, that was quick. Drew setting up bottom of the well. First time we get to see that on the restream. So the two most interesting spots, I think, in the seed thus far. Ooh, a big chest of ice.
Yep. Yeah, and this is an interesting one. You have a hinted path ice. So going here makes a lot of sense. Okay, strength 2.
Strength 2 path evolve, potentially.
Why are the items not in the right locations? Well, because that R stands for randomizer, Bear. It makes things random.
Yeah, the seed is really at an inflection point pretty soon here. We'll know with more certainty, but it's either all dungeons or it's not. It's Requiem on Ocarina of Time, so with Spirit being progression dungeon, we really won't find out probably for another hour average for each runner.
Yep. Yeah, we did get the adult duel hint for Spirit, so we know there's a small key.
Bow!
And there's a bow.
And there's lights.
Oh. So our letter is Din's locked. Or Longshot locked. Or maybe letter... Well, letter can't be on Darunia, so...
Right, we got the Goron City Path Evil's Bane. We have not found letter yet, so that is going to be pretty good info for Seisei. He already has that path hint. Now, the bow and bomb of the well, conversely, is going to be really good for Sea Falcon. His tracker says he does not have strength yet.
No, I don't quite remember which grotto the strength
Field.
was in.
Southeast
yeah,
grotto.
Yeah.
In Fields.
I don't think any of the three of them...
One of the worst checks. I would say in the mid game of just any seed.
Oh, Seisei
especially.
Oh, just some swag. Sorry.
Oh, the hover swag. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just swag. It's actually faster.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't want to have to equip bombs. I mean, he already has them equipped, but it is faster than just a ground jump or a glitchless jump. Really, really useful. The only tricky part on this for these hovers is that the timing for the gainer to get a reset of the hovers is slightly different between the two jumps. It's a little bit, I think, later for the second one. But it's going to use the ground jump here. That makes total sense.
Yep.
Alright, so we've seen Bow. Nothing else so far in Bomb of the Well. We got two players, Drunus and Sea Falcon, both in Well now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see Seisei go there after this, honestly. Unless there would be... Okay. There's our Sarias. We know that that can't be the hinted path because it was hinted directly. Lights cannot be path, as I mentioned earlier, so that leaves us with Strength 2.
Ooh, and a Mirror Shield in Bomb of the Well.
Okay.
And another big chest. Okay, Mirror, Bow, and a second magic.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's really nice for anyone who happens to miss Stampede Digging. Come on, one more big chest, just for funsies.
Is this just no mode? No, not quite.
It's pretty close, though.
Hammer is probably in Spirit.
Yeah, Hammer behind Strength 2 could be in GTG.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. It's only just about 50 minutes in.
Yep.
We do have everything for water except Song of Time, potentially. Which I think has to be on Burning Cack. So, probably not needed for water. Or Rec, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because Rec's on OoT.
Oh, Song of Time was on... Okay. When I first read that note, I thought it was the water boss key was Song of Time locked. because we use BK for several different things. The other strength that Seisei has was in Southfield.
Yeah, Southeast Field. Just super far out of the way. At least the runners have Serenade, so you can kind of like, if you're going to ice anyway, you can kind of route that in if you haven't done Southfield. I think only Seisei has done that so far. Everyone else, I mean, everyone else has done Lake Valley and all that.
Yep.
So I think it's more likely than not.
It was River Open Grotto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the others, that was strength, yeah. How could you forget?
That's much easier than Southfield.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure at least a couple people are gonna like route Southfield into ice and just get 2 strengths that way.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of have they done Bomb of the Well yet? Is Seisei gonna go Bomb of the Well yet? Looks like he is. He just suns, so he gets Stampede time, set Scarecrow. Leave? Question mark. Not sure he's going to field again.
I don't think he's done field, is the point. He did river. Oh no, he's going to valley. For Kokiri Sword, right?
Oh, yeah, he must. Yeah. He does not have that yet. Maybe he hasn't done this one, but he did Southeast?
No, Southeast, I don't think he's done it.
Where'd the other strength come from then?
River Open Grotto.
No, the other strength.
Ice.
Ice?
Seisei?
Milkweed?
Seisei has 2 strengths. One is from River Open Grotto, and one is in ice in the map chest.
All right, message received. Message received. I say it is breaking my brain live here. There's gonna be a strength under my bed next time I check.
Yeah, right? I'm gonna laugh if this is a strength here. When Seisei does this check, though.
Damn.
No.
I'm just seeing stuff now. Okay. I like convinced myself that was a strength.
That's alright.
Hey, at least I'm not playing though.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, so I have no doubts about runners picking up that strength in ice because, of course, it's hinted path.
Right.
Again, River is one of those interesting ones. I would have expected the runner's still child here to just go do it as child. It's slower, certainly, but you can do Frogs 1 while you're there, which you can't do as adult.
Yeah, I've seen the like aggressive opener too floating around of go river before CAC at the very start.
Yep, I do know some runners that choose to do that.
That would only, I mean, it wouldn't really help you that much in this seed just because of the early bomb bag. So it's not like you can do DC checks that you wouldn't otherwise. But it's definitely, it's a route worth considering now, I think, with the hints being as powerful as they are.
Mm-hmm.
And the settings don't change this season, so I think there's going to be a newfound appreciation for Valley Lake hints, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's twice as powerful as River, basically.
Yeah, I do see more and more often comments from players that you should not sleep on getting your path hints, at least. So if you are missing a path hint, it's worth to go back of Lake.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, it depends on how many path hints you have and how many are like outstanding still. You know, if you have some of the ones I had this morning of the Oh, Ganon's is PG path, but you have all your PG items.
Yeah.
Like, maybe ignore that one, but...
Right.
And if it's like, okay, your bomb bag is gonna be NCAC chillin'. Okay, cool. I can also ignore that one, so... Yeah, I think if you're, like, missing... If you only have 2 or 3 path hints, I would say Black Lake is probably actively good. I don't know. It sounds crazy to say. Especially in a qual setting. Like, do you really want to spend like 30 seconds to a minute getting 2 hints?
And that's kind of one of the most interesting thing I think about bigger races. Yes, 9 times out of 10, like a sometimes hint, your last sometimes hint, for example, not going to be useful. It's going to just be trash. But in a qual setting, going for as much information as you can, like, it just helps you more than anything, because you know what? Maybe going to that hint stone puts you by another check and eliminates a check that you have to think about.
I think backtracking is a real concern, I would say. So if you know you're going to go to ice and you don't really have a great warp song to get there, probably is worth going up river.
Yep.
You know, more than that. So I don't know. It gets really in the weeds complicated sometimes, I think, with S8. Good. There's a 1 strength for Drew on his way to get the second one on ice.
I think,
Already has Mirror Shield.
Sea Falcon not too far behind. Yes. So, yes, Season 8 is not a draft like Season 7 was. It's just going to be fixed settings throughout. We have a vanilla bridge, so you need the Shadow Spirit medallions and light arrows to get into Ganon's castle, so that is in play throughout the seed. So in this one, for example, as soon as they finish Forest and Ice, they'll have light arrows and those 2 required medallions so they can go into Ganon's. It's still going to be 6 med boss key, though, so they have to complete all of their medallion dungeons. And that's kind of the big changes, honestly. Chickens are set to 3. That's another big one. But they don't really start with any items other than their consumables, meaning sticks, nuts, Deku Shield. Yes. The boss key gets airdropped as it does when it's 6 meds. Yeah, so Juke seems to be doing what Emo was kind of talking about, going through field. Typically going through North Field, though, this is probably a GTG play, but we'll see if Juke just kind of bypasses that for South Field. Which, this is an interesting choice, knowing that Ice is path. Juke must want to stay in logic and really find that letter, especially since our hints are pointing towards all dungeons for that Requiem.
I think it's a real likelihood we see Quad Forest in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It locks Ganon's. You almost have 3 strings at this point, so... It's pretty solid, I would say. Looks like Juke's heading towards GTG, though.
Yeah. Not... I was just commenting on this. I'm not really sure why you would make this play over a hinted path ice, other than to fully stay in logic. You know your letter is going to be somewhere that's accessible.
Yeah, Ice Path Volve, of all things. So, like, maybe... I mean, there's no way he thinks it's Bomb Bag, but...
No.
It was right at Gag, unless he just forgot where it was.
No, I don't think so. But I think this might be a thought. Oh, it could be...
Does have the Forest Wind. I mean, it's not nothing.
And magic.
I can see just like setting it here, taking a look at maze, then go ice. Just to cover your bases. I think Juke's a fast enough player that he could probably make a play like this, and it actually works out in his favor, even though he has no strengths. Oh, there's a chest on top of there.
Hookshot extension. Hookshot extension. Very nice.
That's it. Second try. It's a
Goron tunic.
t-shirt.
That's nice. Yeah, just walked into the wall and shuffled a little.
Yeah, just raw dogging hookshot extension.
Yeah, no big deal.
These are things that I would expect of Juke. Huge execution advantage. Not sure about his routing, honestly. I've asynced a lot of his races. Not saying he's bad at routing, but I think his strongest thing going for him is his execution by a lot. And I think that's pretty evident of what we just saw there.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, it subtracts whole minutes. That's why. That's the whole reason he's going here first. I'm like firmly a believer of that.
Yeah. It's just kind of, in the end, it's like, I think that Drew and Sea Falcon's routing might end up saving them at least the same amount of time.
Right.
Because they'll be able to minuet right out of here. King Zora is not moved, so they'll probably just grab Blue Fire, or maybe even not waste the time doing that, knowing that they'll have Ganon's access. Well, now they know.
I mean, Juke will have the same opportunity, though. I mean, assuming he goes to Open River, even if he doesn't, he can still minuet out.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that actually saves by itself. It kind of depends on if GTG even has items here, or if, like, Block 2 only has items, or like what the key... We haven't even seen Maze yet, so...
Yeah, that Strength 2 is the scariest thing, but like you mentioned, Juke has Furores, has magic. And what do we have here?
A seed with no wreck. Like, you know you're probably gonna cross once you do find the Strength 2, so... The Furores win doesn't really cost you any time here, either. Like, you're probably gonna come this way anyway.
Yep.
It's just interesting that you go here before Ice Path Full. That just seems very aggressive. And it's not... I mean, you have the song hinted, so maybe he's downplaying that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know it's probably just for logic or something.
And there's our last slingshot.
Oh boy.
All three of them, so no more. We don't have to find any more.
A little bit less bait, but we've only seen like one bottle.
Yeah, we have.
No wallets.
We've only seen the one bottle. Obviously, ice is being done out of logic here. You know that letter is somewhere.
Juke setting the Furores win right at the Strength 2 block. Very heads up. Very aware of his current situation, I would say. Definitely be interesting if he joins us for an interview. That's going to be like question number 1. Why'd you go GTD first?
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Get to see the maze here, possibly. There's a big chest there.
Yep.
One key locked, 3 keys logically.
Yep.
Gets to peek the rest of this. Is that one on the right side?
I thought I saw a small key.
Yeah, it was a small key in a brown chest.
Yeah, in a small chest. Drew opting to go into water first. Not usually the decision people make when it's a foolish dungeon, but you also have to do it, so why not?
It's fine. It's fine. It's progression.
Fine, yeah.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
point. And in terms of your efficiency and your clearing and all that, In a qual, you want to be in progression like 90% of the time, I would say.
Yeah.
And 10% you spend to and from places, or maybe you're lining things up in a certain way.
Yeah, I was thinking perhaps setting up Pierre. Doing, you know, lake checks.
Other players did not have magic and dins yet for decades. So say saved a little bit of time there. Probably like 5 maybe seconds. Yeah, Shadow completely available to players. It is a stone, but remains to be seen whether or not it's actually needed. I haven't seen anyone making any moves towards Spirit yet. Oop. See what this big chest is. It is letter.
Okay, good. That's our long shot path resolved then. Epona's is gonna either be behind crossing AD. Oh wait, yeah. Yeah. Letter couldn't be in Shadow. I'm confused. What needed to be locked by Minuet? Oh,
It's just path PG. So
yeah.
it was long shots in Goron City. Because
Yeah,
it's just one of the hooks, but
yeah, Lullaby was in. Was Lullaby in Adult Sacred Forest?
no, that was in Child Sacred Forest Meadow, I believe.
And we had strength available. Oh yeah, storms. Someone said it already. That's what Svenny was saying. Storms in adult SFM.
This is like 90% 80 probably. Two players now in water.
Yeah, Storm's locked a bow, Svenny. So we are going to be saved from at least quadruple forest at this point.
Well, that's good, right? I mean, I didn't need another nap today. I can only take my first nap today.
Yeah. Hammer could still be in Shadow, that is true.
I'm having some pretty good feelings about Shadow this seed. Shadow has good vibes right now.
Good vibrations.
Not as good as Progression, obviously. That's why we're seeing Forest Double Water and Juke heading to his path area. Yep. Does get the open grotto strength.
Mm-hmm.
Was wondering about that. some players, especially with these warps, your items already, you can just get to ice so much sooner, but I think the hints really are forcing his hand here more than anything. Because I think that double spirit was only there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember what was on the top here, but it's just too good. Almost. Ban River. So this seed is... I would say it's probably all dungeons. It's a pretty safe assumption to make, but we've yet to see all of our progression available to us be completed. We do have that Requiem on OoT. So, I mean, we haven't seen any movement towards Spirit yet. You have to get your Strength 2 by going to River, Open Grotto, then going to Ice, which is Path of Volvagia. Hammer MIA.
Yeah,
no lens either, so it's not logical crossing it either, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's logical AD, but I don't think we'll have to go into the stone dungeons today. But we'll see. We do have that
I'm on the flip
missing
side.
hammer.
It's just AD in my mind already. just be in the dungeon, man. Dungeons are your friend.
Yes, 80 is available. Requiem is on Ocarina of Time, but we did get the adult dual hint telling us there is both a small key and a boss key in those first two adult checks. Hammer and Child Spirit is a possibility.
It's really a pretty bad situation for the runners in this qual. I think this is worse than yesterday.
Because there's too many options.
Well, it's been open the entire seed. So again, like any individual runner won't know for another good 30 minutes here whether or not like it's probably AD or not.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's just not looking good, is what I'll say. When you keep finding your stone items and you're still like, hammer, please, hammer, Euler.
Yeah, and like you
just
said,
keep finding stone items.
No lens yet, so crossing not in logic. Runners don't really care about that too much. They keep it in the back of their mind, but they're just gonna go do Spirit whenever they can. They're gonna do GTG on the way, which is a very good option for Hammer, being in silvers. Alright, Drew's gonna be making his way out of water and probably to forest, but we'll see. Could opt to go to GTG. I think because of the strength 2 hint, Tomo.
Nice door frame setup there for Drew. Very fast morphic go. Love to see it. Or Ganons. We haven't even talked about Ganons yet. That's just the full-on possibility now.
Yep. Yep.
I think... Oof, would you rather cross Wasteland just to find out... I don't know. You gotta go for your prog first, right? Push aside Ganons.
Yeah, I would finish Forest first. If that's the question. Just be done with it, but I do think Drew is going to cross. Especially since you know your horse is out there. It's not too many more checks, but it is some.
Oh, juke. Oh, juke getting juked by the ice case.
And there has been really nothing in Forest so far. Garbage.
And the seeds, like all the neon signs in the world pointing to Forest, and there's nothing there.
Yeah. Well, Forest had a
Baited.
gold scale. My bad.
Like all of the Forest items are among the first you get. Nothing in there. Shaping up to be a classic qual seed here.
Yeah.
So what's your least favorite dungeon?
Fire. I have a lot of trauma with Fire Temple as a child that I still need to, like, work through, which I never will. That maze falling off. Falling off the top of maze is...
You're saying fire burned you one too many times.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's aloe vera, right? You can use that.
Yeah, no. There's no salve for it.
Damn.
And here's Juke showing us that silver block room, so I think this is where we'll get our answer.
I think the worst is Ganon's Tower. I don't know if that's a hot take. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Just a really stupid layout without trials.
Yeah.
I think everything else is fine. Even water. Come here, buddy.
Yeah.
Even
like,
water's okay.
I enjoy doing trials, so I guess if they're on, like, nice. Great.
Yeah. Say, setting furores in G2G. As he makes his way across Wasteland, we're going to be seeing the first spirit check so far on Restream. This is exciting. Very exciting.
And Juke headed that way as well. Just another bow in silver block room there.
Meanwhile, PG for Sea Falcon.
Yeah, and Nehru's, but that doesn't really matter in these settings. Though I am not ashamed to admit I have definitely booted that up a time or two when I've been low health and scared in climb. The good old days of minimal saws.
Triple Wasteland crossing. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely on team that. Just get Spirit out of the way. Make sure you know what's on the first two child checks. If it's 2 items, then I mean...
Yeah, if it's 2 items, you start sweating a little, right?
I think so. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. Especially in the qualifier. You have to... It's just a little seed buried in the mind of all the runners now. Just like, but it could be.
It could be. Yeah, and that's one of the tricky things with strength, like any progressive item. That being directed to Volve might give you more information that it's like, okay, either all 3 strengths are required, or it's just strength 2 locked. You know, it being path to PG, it's much easier. This strength locks all strengths somehow. We don't have that same, like, inference in this case.
Even still, just with these 4 runners on stream, it looks to me like this qual is going to be good for a lot of points. Like, you're going to have a lot of finishes that are very close to each other. Really nothing seems, other than execution, routing-wise, it's kind of all over the place. There's no one check that no one else has done, at least with these 4 runners. Maybe we're just, you know, this could just be a biased snapshot too, right? Like, it could be these are the only 4 runners doing this in a qual with 56 people.
Right. Well, and it's just like, it's fascinating. We're, you know, less than an hour 20 in, see everything that they have been able to do in that time. Sea Falcon has done all of Forest, which is not an insignificant amount of time. Has to go do Dark Link in Water to be caught up on that dungeon. Seisei didn't technically complete Water, correct? I don't think so.
It's marked down at least. No, that's true. Sorry.
Yeah. I was checking the tracker, and I'm like, I don't think that.
Well, he put Ferraris in GCG, but didn't explore any of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure on that. Looks like he left. Yeah, chat's saying that he left before finishing.
Okay.
It's interesting. I mean, yeah, Serenades, so it's like not a huge deal to see for the most part.
Yeah.
You're down a warp song and like floating in the water.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The floating is not fast though.
I mean,
it's not
what's fast, right?
It's not the slowest thing in the world, but it's not as fast as just save quitting floating up. Because you got to do that anyway.
It's not really locking anything either, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I mean, a toilet, you know, that's dead. That's really the only thing aside from River. I think that was maybe even hinted.
Oh.
Might have missed that one.
I thought if anything was hinted, it was the boss key chest, but maybe not.
Okay.
Because if Water River isn't hinted,
yeah. Oh,
that would be
Big Chest and Child Climb. Say being the first to reach there, followed by Juke and Drunus. It's a bomb bag.
It's a bomb bag.
The last one. Alright, so still getting trolled by the big chests. All slingshots, all bomb bags. Can't wait for all bottles. Really the trilogy of our time.
Right. I think we're still missing one bow.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe not. I feel like I only saw 2.
Oh, another big chest. One time. Ah, straight through.
Okay.
Ganon's growls.
That's
in the distance. It's not a great find.
It's not a great find, but it's also like there's 2 places you're going.
Yeah, I mean,
they have access. Like, that's not.
Hey, you got to be glad that Ice was hinted path. You went there. You're guaranteed a strength, and you happen to go upriver, and now you're here.
Yep.
Like, you didn't get led astray anywhere. It's not like some field check like I thought it was, you know, an hour ago.
Yep. And Juke and Drew, like, in sync here, holding hands. Juke didn't quite hit the Armos there.
Oop, a third big chest. It is. It's the hammer.
It's
okay.
the hammer. All right. Well, happy go mode, everyone. We managed to avoid AD today. It was getting a little scary there.
Look how close Juke is, by the way. Isn't he the one that went GTG, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Juke
like he's basically synced with Drew, and he is a water behind, but the Bosky is not that far, so...
Yep. Yeah, and, like, the unfortunate thing for Juke is all of the other runners will bypass GTG entirely.
Yeah, what? There's literally no reason to go there at all. And we're gonna be seeing, like, Go Mode Forest or something here.
Yep. 3 key from almost everyone, I assume.
Right, so I guess that's really the only thing left is, where could he have saved time in this scene? It's just like, that seems crazy, right? Like, it's already over, backing in, folks?
Yep. This is also interesting because I think we're gonna see a lot of, I think you mentioned this, close finishes, not just from Restream. Obviously someone is going to win, but I think we're gonna have a lot of, like, fun times and potential snipes coming
So of people that are not on Restream, of top runners, we got Exodus, Marco, we got Koa, Maki again, Zavi, or Zakola, I got.
Zabi. It's a meme.
Alexis is here. We got Rock Chalk, great American player, Zephyr, great Canadian player, and Fur, great Brazilian competitor, among a lot of others, really. A Benuru, remember that guy?
Yeah.
So, a lot left to play for here. Really gonna see how things shake out in the next 30 minutes or so. Still no finishers, obviously.
Yeah, you still have to do quite a bit of the seed, but I would not be too surprised. Someone's gonna sub to this.
It's
if not everyone.
3 to 4 dungeon go mode?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts. That's just nuts. Like, sub 90-minute go mode.
Yep. And a lot of runners, like one of our good friends, Jimbo, he prefers that. He's like, I would rather focus on execution, turn brain off, so he's gonna love getting into go mode here.
I mean, these paths are pretty good for it too, right? Like, if you only go to these locations, they're all good quote-unquote locations, right?
Yeah, the only, like, slightly tricky thing is bottom of the well for the bow.
Valley, just because of Sun Song and not knowing where it is. But if you go comp chest, it's almost free at that point. And yeah, the Goron City is a little tricky, but I mean, I think most people would figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that Strengthened River is probably the only thing that really trips anyone up. Or makes them spend more time in places that they don't have to. Shadow becomes very appealing if you're just looking for a strength, for example.
Yeah, that strength really does stick out like a sore thumb, the one in River, but... And like I said earlier, like, the players have all the warps and items in the world to take the shortcut. They have more reason than not to do that.
Yep.
Now, the only thing is, do they find letter? Do they KZ skip? Probably KZ skip, especially when it's path. Man, Drew and Juke are just so synced up here.
I know, it's so good. I'm excited for the next few minutes here because I think we're really gonna see, like, if anyone has an advantage on screen. Nice.
Oh, they heard that. Okay.
Always drink and comms, please.
Yeah, too late for that, Clove. I'm
That's like my
anyway,
signature.
so really what we did talk about was really nothing. You missed nothing.
Yep.
Welcome back.
We were just talking about being able to discuss execution and tech that runners choose to use.
Hey, we won't be able to know who's exactly ahead here with Juke and Fire and Drew and Forest. Is the only awkward part here on coverage.
Well, Juke
Say
hasn't
also
done
now
water.
in Forest.
So.
Right, and Say has done water, but hasn't done fire yet.
Yep. Yeah, so Say and Drew are most comparable right now. But who knows, I mean, you can't really speed up Spirit, unfortunately, in this case. You get your hammer and then you get out. So, Sea Falcon is losing a little time being in GTG. It makes total sense. You want to follow that strength that you picked up in Ice, but it's not going to be quite as close as I had anticipated.
maybe some of the qual nerves coming into play here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, I mean, obviously from our angle, the stronger play is to just skip G2G, but
yeah,
I don't know. As a
like,
player, you're still not in go mode.
yeah,
Really
and you
gonna bite the
mentioned
bullet,
this.
and yeah.
Backtracking is like the kiss of death in quals, and
Yeah.
Sea Falcon typically is a very thorough player in that way. He is not interested in coming back to a place that he can complete.
Well,
that's true. Fire boss key.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that, I mean, it's basically what we saw here is he just went to the block and left.
Yep.
I think that's pretty fair. Anything more is like, I don't know. From his perspective, probably a little bit too thorough.
Yeah, I mean, especially you can just go back.
Yeah, with the Furores, yeah. It's tough either way in his spot.
Yeah, it's a tough call, but this goes back to what I was saying earlier. You pick a play and you stick to it rather than kind of running around. You know, I've seen people like run up the steps in GTG only to start going back out and then go back up. Like, there is no time for that kind of wishy-washy movement. And so
I'm pretty sure at least all of them put Furores and GTG just as a backup, though.
Yes, I think they did.
That's probably what I would gravitate towards in this situation. In a qualifier. Nobody's done yet, by the way.
Sorry, Kalo.
With Strength 2 on the path to Volve, you kind of really have to... And with Strength 3, we know it's locked beyond Strength 2.
Yep.
Really just go for it.
Yep.
It's so killer, though.
Yeah, and that is an early boss key in Fire, actually.
All right.
Not the earliest option, but early.
Did they even go up the elevator?
Yeah, lower maze. Yep.
Okay. That's like average. Okay, so Scarecrow not gonna have any effect on this seed.
Yeah, so runners who are going into Fire as their last dungeon, gonna have a much nicer time just mentally, I think, versus runners like, you know, Juke, for example, who Forest won't be their last dungeon, but you're still like, oh, I have to do all of Forest still.
Ooh, nice bonk from Say.
So, how long would you say Spirit takes to full clear?
Depends if you're in Go mode yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the hint we already have that all the runners have gotten.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, yeah, Spears go.
Yeah.
But you also have Strength to specifically Path Volve.
Yeah. So, like, in this scenario, what they did here, plus Rova, like 10?
I think a good Twin Rova is like 2.5 minutes.
Man, that fight always feels longer than that.
It's really not, but it does. Rova sucks. I mean,
like if I
there's so much RNG in the fight that like
yeah,
okay, you're saying 2.5, but it could also just be 5 if it's just like an utter disaster. So like anywhere between 3 and 5, but to get up there with the key knowledge that we already have, it's like that takes like 2 minutes to get up there if you're just rushing it straight. But we already know that he's going to do everything until Hammer, which is on... Oh, where was that again?
The Mirror Shield chest.
Oh.
Adult hand.
Okay, so unless he... Yeah.
So you're just skipping the top 2.
8 to 10, maybe, roughly. Yeah, I'd say about 10.
Okay, so it is going to be very close. I think Drew has the edge on Restream here.
Yes.
And I would say...
Well, he didn't even... He set Feroras and GTD and left.
Yeah.
Which I think is the biggest thing going for him. Everybody else, at least in some form or fashion, was in GTG. Even Seiso.
Yeah.
So I think just that little bit's gonna be like the determiner between who wins first and 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And then between 10th and 20th, it depends on how many child checks you've done. Like, how many times did you play Suns?
Yeah.
How many times did you die?
Die?
We haven't seen that. Hey, it's a good.
it will happen to someone.
Oh yeah. All right, Sea Falcon there with the strength 3.
Yep. So next check is go mode for Sea Falcon. Everyone else already in go mode, but.
I wonder if that like mentality of being in go mode for like 40 minutes versus Sea Falcon who's, oh, I'm in go mode, goes to fire.
Yeah.
Like how is that gonna affect the qual? I mean, it's gotta have some effect.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd rather be in Sea Falcon's shoes, to be honest.
Yeah, I like taking longer to be in go mode because then that like kind of pre-fatigue, I'll call it, doesn't set in, where you're like, God, I gotta do all of this still.
Well, you gotta think about your route more, and like, just really making sure you're not misstepping.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot nicer than, oh, you're in go mode, and you could have been in go mode like 10 minutes ago. Good luck. Yeah. Hope your execution's good.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Like, if execution is your game in this, and you're just trying to solve the puzzle as fast as possible to get to the point where you just get to do that, I mean, I think they're very happy to have 4 dungeons to just brain off.
So basically, Juke's position.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, we've got kind of polar opposite ends.
Wow, Drew is mad. He is losing it. It's PG. Maybe starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah. Well, this is about the point, right, where they're probably thinking of every mistake that they did make. There were not many.
Overanalyzing
everything, and they're waiting for that first finish to roll in.
Yeah, they're waiting for the PG cutscene.
Yep. And they're just like, where's the first finisher? How far do I have to go and fire if that's their last dungeon?
Now, for reference, Drunus did get 9th yesterday for 960 points. Mm-hmm. Pretty good finish, all in all. I think that's definitely a good enough point finish that you want that as a part of your qual finishes.
Yeah.
For top 32.
Yeah, I think everyone was saying like 960 was kind of where you start sweating about the score.
More or less. Again, a lot of moving parts, so it's hard to say for sure. I think Seisei and Juke they probably have the most pressure on them specifically. 898, 890 points each from yesterday. Sea Falcon, this is his first qual, it looks like, right?
Yes. Yep. Didn't play yesterday.
And yeah, Drew had a 960, so I think if I were Drew, I'd just be chilling. Like, no finishers, you're still in your last dungeon here. This is a great place to be if you're Drew.
Yeah. 2
out of your 5 finishes that matter. I would assume this is at least 960 point finish.
Yeah, this will be a little interesting.
Probably above.
We will have our like jet mitigation point come into play here because it'll be
under 2
hours. Yeah,
it'll be under 2.
So I can't remember exactly what that does, but I believe it lowers what the top score can be. So like yesterday, the top score was 1045, I believe. And so I think it bumps that down to like 1010 probably.
Juke
We'll see.
skipping the big chest. Very smart play.
Yeah, save those couple seconds where you can.
Already has BGS. Don't have to worry about it.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing that like, and Juke has already finished fire, so the only thing would be, oh, can I get a Goron tunic? Do I have enough health? All of these runners have plenty of health. They don't need a Goron tunic. I don't even think they'll need a bottle.
It's nice though.
But it's nice.
They already have a bottle.
Oh, sorry, I meant a fairy. Like a bottle for a fairy.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh.
Be a
That's rude. One of the few, like, odder changes, I suppose, this season is having blue fire arrows, which I won't say it started as a meme necessarily, but that's kind of how it feels.
It's a good, I think from a player perspective, it's a good change. Literally nobody has used ice arrows in good faith in a randomizer seed, so...
And it's like, it adds just enough, like, logic flavor.
I would say it adds balancing more than anything. Like, you already have 4 bottles, yeah, but like, I don't know. It's so much faster than bottle. You can use it in DC if you get it like soon enough. It's pretty good there. You don't have hammer already.
Yep.
So I like the flavor, and it's just another example of a pro player change.
Yeah.
Do you really want ice arrows?
I know what the people really wanted was Rudo on floor 1.
Hey, I did for sure. But like that also introduces another like complexity. Like now you're just making Jabu like another forest or another.
Yeah. Specifically, that was like, we've got to have something that sets execution apart. And I have watched people drown Rudo since Rudo on floor 1 has become so common.
I mean, Bongo is, or not Bongo. Jabu is not free.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. And it's kind of weird mechanics. The tentacles, carrying Rudo, switches.
Yep.
And just the boomerang in general. You don't use it anywhere else.
The boomerang is terrible.
Except for some skulls when you need to, and then even then, it kind of messes with the camera. It's a little tough to deal with sometimes. Very finicky.
Yeah, I am definitely if I have to get a boomerang skull, I am 100% going to be using slingshot to kill it. So I only have to use it to retrieve the token.
Yeah, because it's so slow. Still no finisher. So we might be looking at a first place finish for one of these runners here.
Yeah,
Pretty
could
exciting.
be. Don't want to comms curse it, of course.
That doesn't exist, come on.
Maybe. No. Obviously, what I say actually has no impact on the runners, because if it did, I would be concerned that they were listening to me while playing. Don't do that. Anyone looking to get into this.
It's like the Jurassic Park meme of the 2 people at the bench. Oh, comms curse. Look, no one cares.
Hey, look, no one cares. Oops, we mentioned it. Did you see the most recent Jurassic World movie?
Have
you seen any of the Jurassic World movies?
I saw the first one with Pratt in it.
Oh, okay.
Also known as the voice of Mario.
Yeah, he was the voice of Mario.
But no, after that, I heard they...
Oh, they fell off hard.
They lacked substance.
Yeah, even that one, I went to it and I'm like, is this trashy, like 90s throwback nostalgia bait? Yes, but I'm here
I still think the worst Jurassic Park is number 2.
Oh yeah, that's not great.
It just drags on so much. It's so long.
Well, should we talk about execution here?
Sure.
What's Drew doing?
Just a standard Volv kill. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's all. That's what I was getting at. Never know who's new during these early quals.
Gotta make sure you get up to 9 hits here, 7 with BGS. For some reason, he doesn't have BGS.
Oh, yeah. Drew has BGS, but does not have it equipped, yeah.
A little weird. Could
Interesting.
have saved about 5 to 10 seconds there.
Well,
yeah, so the bomb trick there. So there's 2 hitboxes for Volvagia. There's one that's flying around and pops out, and one that just is also where it goes into the lava pool, but only on one very specific side. And so if it does happen later in the fight, and you don't, like, you lost the setup by either not putting enough bombs there in a row, and it flies down into a hole again, as long as you know the orientation of which side to put the bomb on, then it's free.
Yep.
Now, without Goron's Tunic, that was a little risky from Junis, but he's pretty confident. You know, he had a lot of time, really. I mean, he had 5 hearts worth.
Yeah.
At the start, so he's okay. Personally, I almost always just exclusively use bomb choose on Volv now.
Oh,
7 or 9.
It's so much easier for me.
It's so much faster. I mean, you save at least 30 seconds. Now Drew's in the lead here on Restream, in a really sweet spot here to get a 1,000+ point finish potentially. Yep. Let's see here.
Yep.
It's gonna be sub 2 for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alexis, first place. 250.28. GG's.
Very strong French runner.
Yep. Alexis, I would definitely expect to be making top 32, so not super surprised there.
No, he got 10th yesterday, a 9:58 finish, so this is going to be a really nice start for Alexis here. Yeah, pretty much written into top 32 already, I think, in a lot of people's minds.
Yep.
Not really surprising to see either here, too. There are a couple things, like Drew didn't use BGS on Volv, for instance. Yeah. That could have been a time loss versus Alexis, so... A lot of very little things like that. Maybe even use, like, 1 less H change. Not entirely sure.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but that's, 6 to 7 minutes that Alexis has saved on Drew, who I would expect to finish first, barring something terrible happening here.
They're both VC players, too, right? So it's not going to be a whole lot of VC MU difference. Say also a VC player, also heading towards Ganondorf/Ganon. Juke playing on emulator, but I think also Sithaka is another VC player. So not going to be a huge difference between the 2 platforms for this kind of a seed. I think it depends more on your routing, more on your, again, backtracking. Huge part in quals, something you just don't want to do.
Yep. Yeah, and it could be, I mean...
And Juke was a little bit more aggressive with the G2G play, so I think losing time to that makes sense in, some amount of scenarios.
In this field and in this seed, absolutely, it makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, nothing in G2G really Zip logic.
I almost wonder if Alexis took a route closer to Seisei's maybe, and so Well just kind of bailed after the bow, for example.
I mean, it could have been C Falcon's route, and he just didn't go in G2G at all.
Yeah.
Because I think Alexis, I would say, is a more aggressive runner.
Mm-hmm.
He's great at execution, great at routing, but he's also aggressive. So I would say he probably just didn't go there at all. There's probably the difference. Really not a whole lot as Child you can avoid either.
Yep.
You have to go everywhere pretty much. Child Goron City, definitely don't go there. Woo! G Green Cola finishing in second place. That's a spicy finish.
That is a spicy finish. Not a name I would have expected to see in the top 5 finishers, but GG's.
I don't think they're a bad runner, though.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Right, no, for sure. Huh. I think we're going to be seeing the onslaught of finishes here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew just entering the Ganon fight. Oh, are we back? Are we gone again? Third place, Tanjo 3. 154.33. GG's Tanjo. Tanjo, one of those river opener players. So probably had that strength really early.
The OG Banuru finishing in 4th place. Looks like he did not have a great finish yesterday. I think he played yesterday, didn't he?
I didn't think so.
Oh, no, he didn't. Okay. So, great finish. Great first qualifier of the season. We got Alexis, G Green Cola, Tanjo, and Banuru is the first 4. That is pretty wild. You still have Exodus, Marco, Cola, Juke, Rockchalk.
Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, Drew's still here.
He's finishing, hopefully, here. Come on, Drew. Come on, Drew. No snipes. Hey, top 5. Let's go.
Let's go. Love to see it.
Yeah, and Seisei and Sea Falcon will not be too far behind, but we'll see what kind of difference there is here in placement. Hey, welcome in, Drew. GG's.
Hey, what's up, Drew?
GG's.
Anything you want to share with us about the scene before we ask any questions?
No, it was pretty good. I think I would have had like a pretty good chance of winning if I wasn't like just trying to play super safe. But that's just how I approach quals, and I'm not really looking for wins. I just want big points. So yeah, I felt like this was a really good seed. This is definitely like the best S8 seed I've played in terms of like being like no bullshit.
Yeah.
It's on the low end for time. Sub 2, great finish. Love to see it. Really, I mean, there's not really a whole lot you could have cut out from your route, right?
I mean, like, I did, like, a bunch of, like, Child Goron City and like, little things like that. But it was, like, little things, like, here, little things there, and definitely could have saved at least a little bit of time. And execution was, like, a little sloppy in some places. Like, my forest was really bad. I just couldn't kill Pose for some reason.
And Seisei has finished in 6th place. GG's, Seisei.
GG's.
We'll see if they join for the interview here. Yeah, what are your kind of general feelings about SA? I mean, this is your second qual, 2 great finishes. This might be near 1,000 points. I mean,
I love the settings. I hate every seed that I've played.
It's okay. You can say how you really feel. I won't be offended.
No, I actually really do like the settings, and I don't think it's the settings' fault. But like leading up to quals, I've just dealt with so much bullshit in this game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel that, and I think it's a pretty good summary, based on the majority of seeds that have been run. I guess like they're all like kind of pushing 2.5 to 3 hours, so definitely this is going to be on the lower end of what to expect, and a lot of stuff was pretty direct. I mean, what do you think was the most helpful hint and the least helpful hint?
Let's see. Definitely Ice Cavern Evolve was really good. Actually, the Adult Spirit hint was probably the biggest hint, because as soon as you see that, you know you can beat Spirit Temple. So it's like, okay, like I can just cross, I don't have to worry about it. Nocturne's definitely...
Outside of another nightmare scenario or something where there's just an item on Child Spirit. You know?
Yeah, that was going to be my question. How relieved were you when you saw that dual hint?
Yeah, really, very, very relieved.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, pretty straightforward seed. Not really a lot of wiggle room and stuff to mess up, but... Any other thoughts on the seed? S8 in general?
I would say if I could change one thing about S8, if we're gonna go there, it's definitely the random child spot. Or like it's either that or like the Barons being outside of Temple of Time. I think they don't really make sense with each other, but like I like each of them individually. It's just if you get a child spawn, you just like feel like you can't do any checks.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I will say that was vaguely an oversight. We discussed that they interact kind of oddly, but we put it to a vote kind of amongst the crew, and we just went with it. So I'm sorry. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense. But
I will say, like, it doesn't feel terrible to play still. Like, it's totally playable. It's just, that's like the one thing. Like, if I had to pick something, that would be like the one thing. Also, GG's.
Welcome.
Welcome in, say GG's.
Hello, thank you. GG, Drew.
GG.
Hope you enjoyed the seed.
Was pretty jet. A bit too much for me, but that was okay.
And Sea Falcon, welcome as well. GG's to you on your 8th place finish.
GG.
Yeah, GG's, guys. Never been actually a little sad about this one.
Really?
My execution at the beginning was effing garbage, but besides that, I think it went fine. I guess not a very difficult seed to be honest, though either.
Yeah, pretty quick, pretty snappy. Your path hint's really pointing in the right direction for once. Any general thoughts on S8 or the seed, Seisei or Sea Falcon?
Yeah, I guess there was still a hint for Shadow Temple. I guess there was Ruder's Ladder over there. But yeah, otherwise it was pretty straightforward. Just had to rush your hint and your progression. So it was not that interesting. But yeah, and we can see that pretty much everyone is finishing around the same time. So yeah, nothing difficult. That's it.
Well,
pretty good qual to join for points, I think.
Yeah,
I guess so. As long as you can follow the paths. I mean, now the only like real sticking point that we were talking about on Restream was GTG. And like, how much do you do? Do you just set Furores and leave? Go to Spirit? I mean, you have so much prog available to you, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know about the others, but maybe there was a world where you do GTG before the well. I don't know. I wasn't sure about doing the well when I did it. I was thinking maybe GTG is better at the time, but still did it, thankfully.
yeah.
Um,
I guess I should explain this because I did do part of GTD first before Spirit. I rushed the Strength 2 locked room specifically, and peaked the maze. The reason why I did that is because the adult Spirit hint said it was small key boss key. I knew that was probably a hella go modable Spirit, so I was trying to like save a minute. And I was like, well, if I pull Hammer at GTD, then I can just blitz through Spirit, and this will be quick. I guess to be fair,
Right.
only, like you only had to check like half a Spirit anyway because it was Strength 2 path, and I'm pretty sure Requiem was available before Strength 2. Maybe it was even available before Strength 1. Don't know. Never went to Shadow. Don't care. But
we found the boomerang.
Boomerang was in Deco.
Oh yeah, I skipped it. Deco tree.
Yeah, it just got moded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Deku fairly early because I don't. Where was the hint? The first valley was it in Grotto and Crater maybe. I saw the Valley Goma hint stupidly early. Like I got it in Child 1 or something.
I want to say it was Crater. Yeah.
Okay.
It was Crater. I think the only thing that affected was Seisei's route, because Seisei did not go up there. Instead went Child first after getting the bomb bag and doing CAC. Everyone did CAC on Restream. So it's really the only thing that kind of affected any kind of routes on stream. Otherwise, it's basically more or less the same up until it was like a split of Forest, Water, GCG, and crossing Wasteland. And 3 of you on the stream all cross Wasteland at the same time for Spirit. Yeah. So it was just Sea Falcon that was doing Forest, I think, at the time. And then Juke went to GTG pretty aggressively, I would say, even before Ice. Everyone else was in Ice at the time. And he put Forest in there and then came back and crossed. It was like pretty much the only difference. Aside from like really small things that are probably the only real determining factor in this seed in terms of placement. But yeah, all in all, I would say not a bad seed by seed standards.
No, I was glad the hints were simple because I'm someone that was literally so confused about how this split goal thing works that Jimbo and I were having a long conversation in DMs last night to make sure I had everything good before today, and then today came up and it's like, well, this is. I should not have named him because I knew someone was going to trash him immediately as soon as I said that. Hi, Jim. Oh, we're still racing. Never mind. But no,
disclaimer: we all love Jimbo.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're all friends here.
But I'm glad the hints were simple. My only other thought about the seed is that I actually saved time with a really stupid mental error. Do y'all like my route in water where I went to Dark Link and didn't check Dragon Chest because I mindlessly forgot I didn't have song time?
Oh.
No.
That was a good one. I got away with that one because boss key was Dark Link.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so interesting.
That's pretty lucky.
We were, I won't lie, we were watching Seisei more closely at that point because you were the first on Restream into Spirit, and we were like, is Hammer here? And are we in Go mode or not? So I completely missed that, but...
that was like 1 of 3 mental errors I made. I mean, I also warped out of Composer Grave after getting the song and set up Dompe without actually doing the check in there out of logic, and then got bailed out by a sometimes hint. And I also didn't quickly do the 3 chickens despite immediately picking up Vanilla Sun Song for some reason. So,
yeah.
The real lesson for me here, by the way, is don't enter a call on Sunday when you're watching football. Actually, it's the lesson.
I knew it.
My team's not even playing right now. They're playing an hour and a half. But anyway, yeah, that was still not a bad start to season 8 for me.
Yeah. let's see. So, Sea Falcon, this was your first qual. Drew, you played yesterday as well. Say, was this your first qual?
I played yesterday too.
You played yesterday too. How do you feel where you're at after 1/2?
I guess this seed was okay, but yesterday it went pretty badly. I almost lost luck strength 2 in Forest Stone. So yeah, I got like 890 points something. So yeah, I guess it will be in my 3 worst race, hopefully. And yeah, this one I'm fine with this one. 983. That's pretty nice. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty fine now with those 2 races.
Yep, still pretty early on here. Still a lot of 18 more qualifiers here for us.
Yeah.
A lot of people still have yet to play, and I guess we'll see how things shake out. I mean, anything more to add on S8 or this seed?
Honestly, I just want to play more longer quals. These are way too short. We're getting no points.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for playing, for allowing us to restream you, and for joining for an interview. Always a pleasure chatting with you.
It was a real exciting seed to watch.
Yeah, it was really fun. All of you were really close together on restream, even if the final times might have looked a little different. It was a great race.
Yeah, thanks for the restream.
I think we'll turn it over. Baseball?
Yes. Hi. Thank you all for watching today. Thank you to our runners, Say, Sea Falcon, Drunus, and Juke. And thank you to our commentators, Melqui and Emo Soda. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. I had gotten up to take out the trash.
Not in your control. Whatever.
And it broke. So
it's Discord. Blame Discord.
I am. I'm blaming Germany because I think it was the German server that went down. Yeah. Yeah. And thank you to everyone who tracked today. Tomeltalk, Veva, and Virgil Dante. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's going to do it for this race. The next qual is on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure we'll get that restreamed. So yeah, we'll see you Wednesday for more qual action. I'm going to rate us over to Willard J. Bradley, who is playing an Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask combo randomizer. So I hope you enjoy that, and see you Wednesday for the next qual.